Hey everybody, we got another video coming on. Today we got the Dell G2724D 1440p 165Hz monitor. We have the bottom of the stand right here. We got display port and HDMI cables here. This is a power brick. Power supply is in the display, which is nice. This is the rest of the stand. That's a nice stand, but I will not end up using it. I will use a arm. And here is the actual display itself. Here's me taking off my old monitor. This is a BenQ EX2510. It's 1080p at 144Hz. It lasted for a good amount, but I wanted some 1440p. Here is where the other one will go. This is a dual monitor stand, so I could have both up at the same time. I did have to get the help of my wonderful mother here, but we got it on finally. Here's the new adjustment. Looks pretty good. Set it to English, log in, and there we go. I'm doing some adjustments here, like setting the refresh rate, making sure the resolution's where it needs to be. This is me looking at Windows settings, contrast ratios, whatnot, saturation, white point, all of that fun stuff. This part definitely took me a good bit because I wanted to make sure they looked just like my old one, which I really do like the colors on, but I wanted to replicate the exact same in this bigger display. And now here's Fortnite, because why not? And I'm watching another great video by me on the other monitor so I can multitask. Here's a little reference of refresh rate. There's no difference from 144 to 165 at all. You can't tell. But here's a little difference of size from Chrome tab. It's a lot bigger on the 1080p display than it is on the 1440, for sure. It's noticeable. The text is a lot smaller to read. There's a little black background test, back bleed. I think I got a pretty nice one because both of these have very good black. There's no bleed on it. Here's a little contrast test of the two. I think the Dell actually handles it way better because it has a better contrast ratio. Max brightness on both at white. The Dell is definitely brighter by a long shot. It's hard to tell in the video. But setting it to around 70% brightness, it matches the BenQ monitor in brightness. And here's a little size comparison, I guess. It's hard to tell, but it is quite a bit bigger. And you will notice it if you have a 24 versus a 27-inch sitting on your desk. Here's a little update after probably maybe a good 2 weeks, I would say. 2 weeks, something like that. But obviously I'm editing the video right now. Here's what I have it on. I did try out some of my own settings with saturation and whatnot. See, I've adjusted some of it, but at least in this one, this turns out looking at green, which doesn't look good, obviously. And then if I go to custom color here, it ends up looking a little bit grayish, but I will share what I did here. I said this is what I have the gain at. However, I do just keep it at the standard mode because I feel like it comes with good colors out of the box, and that's what closely matches this monitor over here. This monitor has really deep blacks, however. Like if I looking at this, you see we have like a little bit grayish blacks. If you move this over here, it becomes way darker. As you can see here, there's the difference. There you go. Here's a more noticeable. This is more gray, this is more black. And it is pretty noticeable if that's what you're looking for. It's a lot darker, it has better contrast. I do have the contrast all the way up. My brightness is at 76%. It does get very bright, and I think it's unnecessary. But that could just be because I don't get much sunlight. At least the sun doesn't perfectly go on my monitor. But I would say I do recommend it. It is very nice. I think it's worth it. It's very nice. It's very thin. The UI is pretty easy to handle. Well as this one. I mean, I like both of these. This is an old one. Works great still. Great second monitor.